Hello everyone. We'll now discuss about secondary lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs are those sites where the mature cells formed in the primary lymphoid organs now actually interact with the antigen which enter that particular area. Now, secondary lymphoid organs are of different types we have already discussed. The first one of them is lymph nodes. Lymph nodes, what are lymph nodes? Lymph nodes are formed at the junction of the lymphatic vessels. Now, in our body there are more than hundreds of lymph nodes. These lymph nodes contain stromal cells packed with lymphocytes, macrophages and dendritic cells. Lymph nodes are special regions where the lymphocytes encounter the antigen which enter that particular area via the lymphatic vessels. Now, the structure of the lymph nodes, the node is a bean-shaped structure which is encapsulated by a membrane. Now, morphologically, lymph nodes has three regions which are outer cortex, central medulla, and in between cortex and medulla there is a region of paracortex. So, the antigen first enters the area of paracortex. Once it reaches the area of paracortex, now this paracortex is a region which is actually populated with the T lymphocytes. Any antigen which is entering the dendritic cell activates the B cells and T helper cells. Then they are sent to the cortex or medulla. Now, in the medulla, there are many plasma cells. That means now this is the region where more and more antibodies will be produced to combat the antigen. Similar way, cortex contains mostly B cells or B lymphocytes, macrophages and follicular dendritic cells which are arranged in primary follicles. Once there is entry of antigen, these primary follicles will develop into a secondary follicle which will have a germinal center. Here you can see B cell follicle. Once there is entry of antigen, here there will be generation of the secondary follicle which will have a germinal center. And in this diagram you can see paracortex in between, outer cortex and inner medulla. These are the artery and vein. Next is spleen. Spleen is situated on the left side of the abdominal cavity. It is large ovoid and encapsulated structure. Spleen is important in the response to systemic infections. Systemic, yes, you are right. Systemic is the term related to blood. So the blood-borne antigens and lymphocytes are carried to the spleen through the splenic artery and are sent out through splenic vein. Now the spleen specializes in filtering the blood and trapping the blood-borne antigens. Thus, it is particularly important in giving response to systemic infections. Now, the capsule of the spleen in the sense the covering of the spleen extends inside to form projections known as trabeculae. You can see the diagram, it will be much clearer. Here, this is the capsule of the spleen, the outer covering of the spleen. Now this light blue color structure shows some folds into the inner structures. These folds are known as trabeculae. These trabeculae divides the spleen into two areas, which is the red pulp. All this blue color structure which is shown is the red pulp, and in between the red pulp there is white pulp region. So let's see what it is. So the red pulp consists of network of sinuses or sinusoids populated by RBC, macrophages and some of the lymphocytes. It is the site where old and defective RBCs are destroyed and engulfed by the macrophages. So you rightly remember, spleen is the graveyard of RBCs. Now, white pulp. So this white pulp surrounds the splenic artery branches and consists of pulse. Pulse is periarteriolar lymphoid sheath. These are populated by T lymphocytes as well as B cell follicles. Similar way to that of lymph nodes, these primary follicles once they encounter the antigen, they will develop into a germinal center, which is important during the immune response. So the same diagram once again. Here we said there is another area known as marginal zone. This marginal zone is actually a separation between the white pulp and the red pulp. Now both the pulps are separated by a marginal zone. This brown color structure is the marginal zone, hence I have written marginal zone in brown. Now this marginal zone is populated by specialized cells known as macrophages, dendritic cells and B cells. Now from the artery, the antigen is first trapped, the antigen first enters this particular spleen through the artery. So this red color structure is the splenic artery. We already discussed that the splenic artery, the area surrounding the splenic artery, it forms the white pulp. So once the antigen enters the spleen through the artery, it is first trapped inside and processed by the dendritic cells. Where are the dendritic cells present? These dendritic cells are present inside the marginal zone. Then later they travel to the pulse. Pulse is nothing but a region of the white pulp. So it is pulse indicates periarteriolar lymphoid sheath. So you can see that after it reaches the pulse area, then it further activates the T and B cells which are present in the pulse. They finally reach the primary follicle and convert it into the secondary follicle. So the flow is in this way. First through the artery, they enter the marginal zone. From the marginal zone, they go to the pulse, which is white pulp. From the white pulp, they finally enter the red pulp area where the germinal centers get activated. Now third lymphoid organ is secondary lymphoid organ is MALT. MALT indicates mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Now the mucous membranes which line the various parts of our digestive system, like the respiratory system, digestive system, as well as respiratory and urinogenital system, which are the major sites of pathogen entry. Now these mucous membranes are defended by organized lymphoid tissues, collectively known as MALT, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. It consists of large populations of plasma cells. Plasma cells are the ones which produce antibodies. Now it contains such a huge number of plasma cells which are more when compared to the total number of plasma cells present in spleen, lymph and bone marrow combined. The important mucosa associated lymphoid tissues include tonsils, Peyer's patches, appendix, etc. Now first one, tonsils. Tonsils, what are they? Tonsils are the nodular structures present in the neck region. Nodular structures with network of follicular cells, fibers, lymphocytes, macrophages, granulocytes and mast cells. Now these cells are organized into follicles, and upon the entry of the antigen, germinal centers are formed surrounded by T cell activity. Now Peyer's patches. Where are these present? Peyer's patches are present in the submucosal layer of gastrointestinal tract. These patches are collection of 30 to 40 lymphoid follicles which develop into secondary follicles with the germinal center. Now you can see here Peyer's patch, the diagram of the Peyer's patch. What happens here? When the antigen is transported from the epithelial layer into the mucosa, that is we are talking about Peyer's patch. Here it is carried out, the antigen transport is carried out by M cells. What are M cells? M cells are flat epithelial cells without microvilli. They have a pocket which is filled with a cluster of B cells, T cells and macrophages. You can see here these are M cells. M cells do not have microvilli like the other intestinal cells. Now these M cells are present close to the primary follicles. These are the primary follicles here. Now these are the M cells. You can see the same here, M cells. Now as these M cells pockets contain B cells, T cells and macrophages, upon the entry of the antigen move first, it gets into the lumen. From here is the antigen. This antigen gets into the organs with the help through the M cells. Now once these are passing through the M cells, they activate B cells which are present in the primary follicle. Now these B cells which are present in the primary follicle, they secrete, B cells get activated and the plasma cells secrete IgA, immunoglobulin A. So these antibodies IgA and IgA, immunoglobulin A, now further from the secretory cells, they are released back into the lumen, again through the gaps between the M cells, which interact with the other antigens which are present and destroy them. Next is CALT. CALT is cutaneous associated lymphoid tissue. Cutaneous is a term related to skin. Now skin is an important layer for various defenses. Now epidermal layer of the skin is composed of keratinocytes which secrete cytokines which further produce inflammatory reactions. Now Langerhans cells in the epidermis, nothing but Langerhans cells are a type of dendritic cells which capture or internalize the antigen by a process of phagocytosis, then the cells undergo maturation, then migrate to the lymph nodes. The function of activators, hence these function as activators of T helper cells. Intraepidermal lymphocytes contain T cells and combat the antigen which enter by the way of skin. Now dermal layer of the skin contains T cells and macrophages. Most of the dermal cells are either activated by T cells or memory cells. Thank you for your patience. Now references are Cube Immunology and Immunology by Ikonen. Thank you. Any doubts you can post in the comments.